Hey guys, my name is Biora. Making this video because recently I've been scrolling through my timeline and I've been seeing a lot of people talking about the concept of tempo, and the more takes I see about it, the more I feel like people don't really understand what it means fully, or at the very least they don't understand how it's used in a professional context. So I wanted to just kind of clarify it a little bit, maybe educate some people who don't know what it means at all. Um, just go through some examples. So tempo is actually really simple. It has two sort of definitions. One of them is a singular definition. The singular definition, so I'm going to take notes over here and make this white so you can see it more easily. So the singular definition is really a shortened version of a tempo window. And all that means is it's a window of time where a player or a team has the freedom to make play on the map without losing efficiency. Okay, that's all that means. And I'm going to give you an example. Now, the example is going to be a big exaggeration, so keep that in mind, okay? But it's also going to be a very simple example and one that I'm sure a lot of people have experienced. So it's going to be the most sort of applicable, or the most relatable, I should say, right? Now, the example is going to be, imagine you are blue team, right? And the enemy team has destroyed your inhibitor turrets. And then they've also destroyed your inhibitors, okay? So say you're blue team, your inhibitors are down. 1, 2, 3, these are all down, okay? And let me set the mood here. Say you also have no vision. And then no vision here as well, okay? So you have no vision. So you're just trapped in your base, and the enemy team has super minions, and they are on their way to your base. They're very big, they're very scary. Big red boys. Okay, and they're coming. Oh Lord, they coming. And there's also another wave at enemy base that's going to be approaching eventually. Okay? So say you are a champion of the people and you defeat these super minions and the following waves that are behind them, right? You now have the time it takes for this next wave to get to you, right? You now have the time it takes for this wave. Why is my brush? I'm using an eraser. That, well played. Okay. You now have the time it takes for this wave to get here, which in this case, maybe it's 30 seconds. I don't really know how long it takes a super wave to crash at your inhibitor, but say it's 30 seconds. You now have 30 seconds to make a play. This is your tempo window, okay? This is your singular tempo window. Now, you can do a few things in this situation. There's really not many, but you can do a few, right? You can stop a Baron play if it's happening. You can stop an Elder play. These are more like desperation plays, right? If you have like camps up here, maybe you can fight for these camps, or like, some of the easier to take camps, right? There isn't really much you can do. Most of the time, you're probably gonna be sitting here with your thumb up your butt, waiting for the wave to come and to farm it, because you just don't want to lose this game, right? But that's your window. That is your singular tempo window. So the definition from before, that's the definition. Okay. And like I said, this is an exaggerated example. I'm gonna give some more examples that are like in the actual game, but hopefully that makes sense. That's what a tempo window looks like. Okay. So I'm going to delete these. I'm going to keep the definition. I'm going to reset the vision. Now, say you are a jungler, okay? And you are clearing from bot side to top side. Say you're like Diana, right? And your clear looks a little bit like red into Krugs into, I'm going to zoom in, sorry, you probably can't see anything. Red into Krugs into Raptors into wolves into grump into blue, right? Okay, and then we go to the scuttle. Say we finish the scuttle at 3 minutes 35. Okay, it's like pretty standard. 2 minutes 20. Krug's clear. A little faster, right? 2 minutes 40 or something. Just kind of eyeballing it to 55. and 3:15. Right, maybe you do Gromp and Blue together. Okay, I'm gonna put a little, give a little line here for my visually impaired friends if it's hard for you to see the numbers. So go here, and then come around here. Okay, so this is the path. Now this is relatively standard. This is like a normal bot to top full clear. Okay. What you have now, once you have done this full clear, is you have the amount of time between when you finish this camp, or really, technically it's when you finish this camp, but for the sake of this diagram here, it's when you finish this camp to when this camp respawns, which 2 minutes 15 seconds should be at exactly 4 minutes and 35. Okay? So you have exactly 60 seconds to make a play. Now some of this you got to remember is also going to be basing if you're going to base. Not everyone's going to base on their after the first clear. It depends on the jungler. It depends on the player really, right? But you have 60 seconds to make a play and get back to this camp. Okay. This here, again, is your singular tempo window. All right. That's your window. Now you can do a few things with this. Okay. You can look for a gank in one of these lanes, right? You can dive, maybe. If you have support roam, you can dive mid, right? Or you can just hover mid if you need to hover for your mid laner to crash so he doesn't get ganked, right? You can invade these camps, 1, 2, right? I doubt the red's up, but maybe you invade the red too. You can simply get a ward down for your laner, right? Take a ward, put a ward here for your laner. You can cross to bot side, go for bot scuttle, and then at this point, because you're so close to the camp, maybe you just stay on the map, right? So instead of basing after that 60 seconds, you just go right back, right? So you don't have to waste time basing. Depending on the jungler, this is definitely doable. But this is your window, right? You have 60 seconds to do something, and how efficient you are in doing that something kind of leads me to my next point, which is the plural version of tempo. Which, wait, what layer is this on? What the hell? Sorry. Okay. Which leads me to the sort of next part of this, which is the plural version of tempo. Plural tempo, which is how effectively, or you can read it as efficiently, person or a player is using their individual tempo windows, right? And what this means is, so you'll hear a lot in pro play, excuse my language, but you hear a lot pro players say, oh, this guy fucked his tempo, like his tempo is super fucked, right? And that might not mean anything to a lot of people, like it might just sound like a buzzword, but it's really not. And it's a great way to communicate the fact that the enemy has fucked their tempo, and I'm going to show you what that means. Say this is the clear, right? 2 minutes 20. You have 240, 255, 315. Now, for the sake of this here, I'm going and what I mean by this is like if I was to duplicate this and just put them up 2 minutes 15, right? I might even honestly just do 2 minutes for the sake of my fucking brain. 5, 10, 30, 30. Yeah, for the sake of my brain, I'm going to just do 2 minutes. So we're gonna do 20, we're gonna do 40, we're gonna do 55, we're gonna do 15, because I cannot be fucked. Here you go. Okay. What I was going to say was, because this is when they spawn, it actually doesn't start until you clear the next set of camps, right? But for the sake of just doing a quick example of what I'm about to say, I'm going to make 2 adjustments. One is that camps in this scenario get killed instantly as they're spawned. And the second adjustment is that camps respawn 2 minutes apart because I don't feel like doing math. So, in this scenario, okay? first set of camps is cleared on these timers, they respawn on these timers, and they're instantly killed, which means they should respawn again on these timers, right? So 6, 6, 6, 7, okay? And they should, again, respawn on these timers. If we're being 100% efficient, okay? 100% efficiency, this should be what's happening, right? And in between, remember before how I said, like, technically the timer starts when the Gromp dies? Like, in between, you have between 3:15 and 4:20. So this is 65 seconds total, okay? Now, in the first clear, you use that 65 to clear the Gromp, or the Scuttle Crab, right? So that's just part of the 65 seconds, but, or, I mean, technically it's a little longer because the camp's, it's 2 minutes, 15 seconds, but whatever. Okay, fuck off. In this example, 65 seconds, right? So say each of these, there's 65 in between. Right? Now, what it looks like when you fuck your tempo is when you overextend on your tempo window, okay? When you stay on the map too long and you start losing time on your next camp respawn, which isn't bad if it happens not infrequently, right? So say you extend this window by 20 seconds. Say you're on the map an extra 20 seconds, okay? Now, all the timers past that first clear are going to be bumped up 20. So we're going to go 4:40. This is going to be a raw 5 minutes. It's going to be 5:15. And this is going to be 5:35, okay? And not only this one, but all these get bumped up, okay? So this is also going to be 40. This is also going to be 7 minutes. This is also going to be 5 or 7:15. This is also going to be 7:35, okay? And then this one also goes up. So keep in mind, this camp here, or this camp respawn at 8:20, right? When the next clear starts. So keep that number in mind, okay? So it started off at 8:20 at that fourth clear, okay? So this also gets bumped up, 8:40. This also gets bumped up, 9 minutes. Right? We're going 9:15, 9:35, right? Now, if it happens one time, you know, a 20-second extension is not the worst thing in the world, right? But if it happens again, say this time you go up 30 seconds, okay? Now, between this set and this set, you're adding an extra 30. Okay, so now we're at 7:10. We're at 7:30. We're at 7:45. We're at 8:05. Okay? And this one also has to go up 30. So now we're at 9:10. We're at 9:30. 9:45. Okay? But then you do it again. Say you extend it again, like you're really inting, okay? You extend a window again. All right, now this one goes up an extra 30. So now we're at 9:40. Okay, we're at this 10 minutes. Okay, we're at 10:15, 10:35. Okay, now this started off, like I said, this started off at 8:20, right? So you just added an extra 80 seconds to your clear. Now, I mean, every pro jungler understands this. Most pro players understand this, right? I mean, even a lot of like coaches and whatever understand this. But what it means when you say you fucked your tempo, it means that you added an 80-second sort of delay to your entire way of getting gold. You know, like you missed out on basically 2 clears here. Because if you take the time of this clear, this is only 55 seconds. So this here was 55 seconds for this one clear. But keep in mind, as you go, each clear is going to take less and less time. Because you're going to get more items, you're going to get more levels, right? It's going to be easier to clear camps, right? So you basically missed out on 2 full clears here. And unless you are using those windows to gain more gold than you're losing, you're going to fall behind. And so when someone says like, oh, this guy really fucked his tempo, that's what that means. And it's very similar for laners too, right? Like if you keep missing waves, you're fucking your tempo. That's what that means. Like, you know? So I just wanted to explain tempo as a concept. There's also like an offshoot of tempo, which is like an off-tempo play. It gets a little bit more gray area because it's kind of based on convention. And what I mean by that is like, here, let me get rid of these timers and stuff. What I mean by that is like, say you have I don't know, I'm gonna do something really simple, really exaggerated, okay? But say you have like a random top matchup, Jace versus Renekton. I'm gonna take them, I'm gonna put them into groups, Renekton maybe red side, Jace on blue side, okay? And say that Jace is about to crash a wave, okay? So Renekton's gonna be under turret, Jace is about to crash a wave. And there's like 5 melee minions. This is so big. Oh, I'm doing the wrong layer, sorry. Maybe there's like 5 melee minions. And like 6 range minions, okay? He's crashing like a pretty big wave, right? Now, say Renekton assumes that Jace is going to base, right? And Renekton has his own wave coming. Where's Renekton has his own wave coming. And then he also has one that's going to spawn in base as well. Right? So Jace is going to base, right? He goes back to base. Renekton farms this wave. Red wave starts stacking up back to Jace, right? Now, you would imagine that those 2 waves that are coming are going to end up under Jace's turret, right? And Jace is going to come back and farm those waves. You know, whatever, literally doesn't matter. So normally, most situations, he'll base, go do that, right? Or he'll, you know, he'll like go get a ward and then go farm the wave or like whatever, it doesn't matter. But say he literally, instead of coming to catch this wave, just like sits in enemy jungle and waits for enemy jungler and just kills him. Like, and the wave, he misses minions, right? Like that's an off-tempo play. He's taking a window and instead of doing what the enemy assumes he's gonna do with the information they have, he makes a different play. That's like an off-tempo play. Okay, that's all that means. So those are all the sort of like caveats of tempo. I hope that I explained it well. If you didn't understand, that's rough. If you have any complaints, you can write them down and send them to your butthole. And that's about all I got. Hopefully you have a great day. Take care.